And good morning. It's Tuesday morning. Matthew 13:31 through 33 says, Jesus put another parable before them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is like a grain of mustard seed that a man took and sowed in his field. It is the smallest of all the seeds, but when it has grown, it is larger than all the garden plants and becomes a tree, so that the birds of air come and make nests in its branches. And he told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like leaven that a woman took and hid in 3 measures of flour till it was all leavened. Well, I don't know how familiar you are with gardening or with baking. I'm not in any way an expert on either of those. But mustard seeds are very, very, very tiny. They're just really small. And yet they grow into a good-sized bush, we would call it, like a shrub. And so Jesus makes the point then that the tiny seed can grow into this huge plant. Or in the case of the leaven, a little bit of leaven is all it takes to leaven all this flour and so that it can become a bread. But you don't need much at all. I remember with the old bread machine, you'd put all the stuff in the machine, and then you'd put just like a teaspoon or so of yeast, and that was enough to make bread. So you don't need much of that. And there's his point. It just takes a little bit to produce great results. Many times this is discussed as, well, it just takes a little faith. If you just had a little faith, you'd be all right. I don't think you can quantify faith. I think to say somebody has a little faith means that somebody else doesn't have enough, and you get into this, how much is enough and it's too much, and stop. Let's not have that conversation. It's destructive at best. You have faith or you don't have faith. Sometimes people say, well, I got to have more faith or deeper faith or better faith or something. Yeah, okay, you can say that if you want to, but let's not get into this comparison sort of thing, because it's destructive. And Jesus makes the point that a little bit of faith, a tiny bit, is enough to do these tremendous things. Like a mustard seed is so tiny, but it grows into a very large bush. So that's his point. That's what the parable is going to teach us. You believe in me, you believe a little bit, and we're going to be fine. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to understand everything. You don't have to have encyclopedic doctrinal knowledge or something. You don't have to know everything to make this to make it right, to make it work. You don't have to be experienced in 47 different kinds of mission or be an expert in all kinds of social work. You just have to believe. And he will give you the grace to meet the challenges that come your way, and you'll be able to function in the way that you need to in your particular calling and ministry as a Christian. Sometimes we find that we don't think we have enough faith, or we find ourselves depressed, or we find ourselves struggling, wishing it was different, wishing the world were better, and all that kind of thing. Yeah, I get it. But it's not about believing more. It's simply about trusting that God will provide and will meet these promises and will do the things that he says he's going to do. And if you believe that, you're going to make it from day to day. And that's what's most important, that you believe in him every day, no matter what comes your way. See you tomorrow.